Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 6 of the Unpopular Opinion Podcast. I bet you missed me because I have not made an episode in a very long time. Been busy. Currently, I am at a new dealership and things are going good. I was at Jaguar Land Rover. I've made a few TikToks about it. There were a lot of frustrations with Jaguar Land Rover. There were a lot of things that were not working the way that they needed to work. And I had a very low guarantee. Was not making near as much money as I needed to be making to pay my bills and survive. And I held on as long as I could until I got to a point where I was like, hey, I need this much money. They're like, we can't afford to pay that because things for our dealership are not going well right now. Things nationwide, anything car related, is not good right now. Unfortunately, that's where we're at right now. I mean, even I know people that work for car factories. You know, they're not making car parts. They're not selling cars. The only thing that is still currently working right now is dealerships have to fix cars, right? So, unfortunately, there's a lot of stress on technicians and service departments in general right now. So currently I am back at Chrysler because I am a master certified Chrysler tech. I've been working for Chrysler for a very long time. I know the brand, and I know that if the work is there, then I can make the money. So that's where I'm at right now. It's been really difficult for me to make episodes of this or do TikToks because, things have been crazy. It's been difficult. Super busy. Like right now, it's 11:30 at night, and I am exhausted. I get up at 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning so that I can go to the gym, and then I have to be at work. I drive an hour to work. It's difficult. I really like the dealership that I'm at. Those guys that I work with seem to be pretty cool. I like my shop foreman. My new boss is pretty good. Lots of work. They have a lot of work and not enough people to get it done. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I've been slammed. I've not had a chance to make any kind of videos or content really because I've been so busy, and I've been trying to be respectful of, the dealership and everything. It's kind of funny. There are people at the dealership that were following me on social media before I even got there. And it's awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. They all seem like really good dudes. And then when I started there, it just kind of like I had people left and right like, whoa, I see you on TikTok. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I don't know. It's awkward, man. It's awkward, but like it's cool at the same time. But what are you gonna do? I really like my dealership where I'm at right now. Let's see. I've had a lot of people ask me why I'm not out on my own right now. And I've made a few videos about past experiences and being a business owner. And I was a business owner at one point. And they want to know how I got up to that point. There's a lot of people out there that are really interested in, the business ownership aspect and how I got to having a shop. And a lot of people are under the impression that you have to have $1 million saved up before you can start a business. And it's not true. It would be nice, but that's not realistic. The way that I started was I went to Office Max or something, and I got like an automotive invoice book that I can make invoices out on. And I started like word of mouth with all of my friends and family, people that I knew, friends of friends, random people, and I was kind of doing like mobile mechanic work. And that kind of turned into me doing work in my garage. And I just had like a 2-car garage at the time. So I was doing a lot of side work, and I just kind of kept building on it. I kept, doing things and and getting my reputation built up. And at one point I decided to get business cards for myself because, you need something to give to people so that they have your phone number. If they know somebody that wants to get their car worked on, they talk you up and they're like, here's this business card, you can get a hold of them. And over that time, if you do a good job, word of mouth is probably the most important advertisement that you could have. Somebody who has gotten work done from you and is talking you up to somebody else, that means so much. It means so much to you, really. That's the best advertisement you can get because your product, your skills have been tested, and somebody is talking you up to another person who potentially needs car work done. So I was doing a lot of side work, a lot of mobile mechanic work out in the elements. It sucks, but that's where you got to start. And then it kind of just, I started taking on bigger and bigger jobs and learning to do different things. I started doing transmission rebuilds in my garage. That's where I started, in my 2-car garage. I was pulling them out in the driveway, and I'd bring the transmission in, I'd rebuild it, slap it back in, do whatever I have to do to get the transmission done. And I just kept doing it. And it got to a point where I was so busy with side work that I had to make a choice on whether I was going to do side work full time and be a business owner or stay at the dealership because I was so busy. I was not sleeping. I was getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep at night. And I was in my 20s at that point in time, and it was wearing on me. I had worked through a lot of different things. I missed a lot of stuff with my kids because I was building something. And my boss at the dealership that I was working at was not happy with the amount of side work that I was doing because that means you're not really going to work as hard at the dealership. And it's hard. It's hard to work hard for a dealership when you spend the entire week there and you bring home what you would make in one side job, and you keep thinking about it. I try really hard to work hard at the dealership, but like you think about, man, one side job and I can make my entire week's pay. Why would I stay? But there are a lot of risks when doing side jobs and going out on your own and being a business owner that a lot of people don't think about. So we'll get back to that. But starting out, basically, any profit that I made from my jobs, I would reinvest into myself, if I could afford it. I was working full time, so I didn't need the side money. It was more like Christmases and birthdays and like fun money. But I would always buy, like, if I needed a tool, I would buy an engine, a hoist or a tool that I need or, something. I would try to find a way to reinvest into my side gig so that I can make it better. Business cards, advertising on Facebook, that was huge. Advertising through Facebook is what built my business, and that is probably one of the most important parts of the whole thing. Because when I started I started on Craigslist, and then it kind of, Craigslist got really weird and bad. Went to Facebook, paid for advertising through Facebook, and it exploded. Advertising through Facebook is really what built my business. And just paying for, different things, trying to see what works, building processes, and just reinvesting into myself so that I could build on the business. It was a lot of work. It was expensive. There were a lot of mistakes, but you learn from your mistakes and then you just keep going. And eventually, I had gotten enough money and I did take out a small loan from family, $6,000, so that I could get lifts. But my very first actual automotive shop building was $1,300 a month. It was 3 bays on Main Street here in Springfield, and I needed 3 lifts because it didn't have any lifts in it. So I took out a loan to get the 3 lifts, and I had enough side work that I could, pay the bills in that building. So I could just move right in. As long as I could get started right away, I'd be fine. And that's what I did. And I kept reinvesting into the business. I kept growing. I hired employees. I developed a pretty good reputation. And then I grew even more, when, like at the very beginning of COVID, when everybody was getting paid to stay at home, I grew. I got a 6-bay shop, and that was $4,400 a month. And I fell victim to the machine. And what I mean by that is, like, I built this machine that if you weren't making X amount of dollars, then it was a problem. There's not a whole lot of room for error. And there was a lot of error. There was a lot of error. There are a lot of things that went wrong that I wish hadn't gone wrong. And me being young and inexperienced, I didn't know what to do. And eventually I decided it wasn't worth the headache, and I closed my business. But that's how I came to be a shop owner. Currently, I still do transmissions on the side in my 1-car garage at home. I work full-time for the dealership. I like doing it on the side. It's extra money here and there, but like, I think more for me, I like the technology. I like learning new things. I still pick up new transmissions every once in a while and learn how to do those. And I really enjoy it. A lot of the risk and complications that I was talking about, there are a lot of things that you can't control. Like people. You can't control people stealing from you. You can't control your employees sometimes. You can't control your cars being out on the lot getting vandalized. There are a lot of things that are just out of your control, and you have to try to be as prepared as possible. And I was not prepared. And even when I was prepared, I still got screwed. And you've got people's cars on the line. And another thing that you need to be prepared for is comebacks. At a dealership, if I have a comeback, typically, I'm not out any money if I fix this car. But when you are a business owner and you have a comeback, every little bit of that money is on you. All of the parts, the labor, if you have employees, you're paying your employees to do this job again, and that is on you. And that can get very expensive, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So there's a lot of risk, but at the end of the day, you're probably not going to get rich owning an automotive shop, but it's yours, and you can do what you want with it, and you can say that you built that and be proud of it. And I was very proud of it. This is the shirt that I wore when I owned my shop, and I was extremely proud of it. I wanted bright colors. I wanted to show the world who I was. And I still do. I still want that. And I may consider opening up a shop again. But I have decided, especially with the way the economy is right now, that dealerships are the way to go. So that's where I'm at. If you decide to open up an automotive shop, I wish you the best, and I really hope that it works out for you. There's a lot of people out there that, they keep telling me to open up another shop, but it took a piece of me. It took my mental health. Like every time I went on vacation, I was working. Every time I was on my way home from somewhere, I was working. If I was sitting at a soccer game, I was on the phone talking to people, working. And you have to be able to separate work and home, and I couldn't do it because I am obsessive, and I wanted the best quality product. I wanted my business to be the absolute best there was, and I got obsessive, and it's hard for me to not do that. It's hard for me to just be like, you know what, this problem can wait till tomorrow. No, I obsess about it because I care. And if you care, it's going to be the exact same way. I guarantee it. And I know that you're probably going to be like, nah, that ain't me. I'll be able to do that. Not when it's your business and your money on the line and you've got somebody dogging you on social media because of something that was out of your control. That's just how it is. But this is going to be a short episode. I'm running out of time. I just wanted to get something recorded to show you guys. That's basically what I did to become a business owner and how it ended. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a message on TikTok or Facebook. I have absolutely no problem answering questions about business ownership or cars or technology or anything like that. Thank you for watching episode 6 of the Unpopular Opinion podcast. We're going to try to do some more stuff for you guys. And I will talk to you guys later.